I got up at 7, kissed a soft cheek, admired some painted clay, drew bath water, washed off a skull and crossbones and a rabbit tattoo, wiped metallic silver from underneath my own eyes, fixed cornflakes and took the kids to school. I got up again at 11. Any of y'all ever do that? Old trick. Put on my baby blue boots and a brand new t-shirt, ate 2 eggs and a steak, washed dishes, scrubbed floors, hung my long black wig on a nail in the closet, started to write an old friend from high school, but all I could think about was that wild-haired leopard lady tease, backseat adulteress, Egyptian princess, voyeur's cup of tea, Mexican whore, honky-tonk queen, slow stripper, struggling victim, that dark-hooded satin snake with forked tongues that slithered over you last night and became me. I turned 40 in the backseat of a limousine, rubbing and loving on the man of my dreams, drinking tequila in the falling rain, looping lover in a limousine. I love your snakeskin boots, baby, your silk shirt drives me crazy. My dress is soft, my high heels mean, my lingerie's the trashiest you've ever seen, so keep on kissing me while Hank Williams Jr. sings. She's the queen of my heart, baby, you're my king. Getting low down, getting obscene, looping love in a limousine. I woke on cool sheets. It eased with the morning. The smell of summer rain, kids all sticky with honey when you walked in and parted the kitchen with your silence. Time struck dumb till I saw what you'd found in the closet. A painting, hidden for 7 years, but hanging on our bedroom wall 7 years before all hell broke loose. Maybe it could have been prevented if I'd believed then in art. When the spirit of your soothsayers brushed my canvas and spelled it out as clear as the early days, but I doubt it. For I've seen your lines become our highways. Your forms house our history, and more than once content come true. I stare at the new drawing you gave me, suspect of the skeletons wearing my bracelets, a razor blade in their hair, walking off in my high heels, leaving a dead rabbit on the sidewalk. You call it tragic magic. Poor rabbit. Now that I'm a believer, I'm going to certainly think twice about it. Last night you said I was a phony, inconsiderate, unintelligent, selfish, judgmental, unkind, untrustworthy, no longer sexy, killer of human dignity. This morning you said my hugging you made your headache go away, but I still feel uneasy. I pull a wad of your hair out of the comb, examine it, smell it, put it up to my lips, kiss it, flush it down the commode. I want to read y'all a story. You know my favorite love scene's in The Sundowners. Did any of y'all ever see that? Nobody saw The Sundowners? It was so good. I mean, when Deborah Kerr unbuttoned her cotton house dress and crawled into bed with Robert Mitchum, God, if they worked hard all day, it was so good. I mean, just perfect before sleep. Same way you've made me feel so many nights holding us together for 23 years. I want to read this story. This is I traveled around for 4 or 5 years interviewing waitresses all over the country, and there was this waitress here in Fresno that was absolutely just raging beauty. And she was blonde, and she was Mormon, and her husband was unemployed, and she had never had a job, and so she got a job as a cocktail waitress. And I was visiting at her house, and she was talking to me, and her husband was in the other room. We were in the kitchen, and he was in the living room, just as far as from you to me right here. He could hear everything, and he was listening. And she started telling about how jealous he was of her, and how one time when she came home, he had a big old butcher knife out, and he was trying to stab her and trying to strangle her to death and all this stuff. I was getting so nervous listening to her talk about it with him right there in the other room. But here's something she said to me, and I love this. I want to read it to y'all. She was really innocent and really beautiful and real sweet and soft-spoken. If things don't work out here, I'm either going to go this way or completely opposite. That's very extreme, isn't it? I just can't stand hearing all these things about myself that I haven't even done yet. You know, my thinking's always been really complicated. You know, like a woman having 3 husbands or a man having 3 wives. You know, after I start thinking about it, it just seems like there's nothing wrong with it. Now I try to tell myself, you know, please just be happy with what you've got. You know, just carry on as normal. You know, if I can do that, I think everything is going to be okay. Listen, I've got to get my hair rolled up for work. You want to take some of this okra home with you? Beside our bedroom wall, in our old bedroom, there was but right beside the bed, there was a window with a whole family of praying mantis on the screen. And I used to sit and watch them for, it felt like days. I would stare at this whole family. Clinging to the screen, her graceful feelers surveyed his dried remains. She and her baby, day after day, mourning the body, dragging it just fractions of an inch. For a month I watched and felt sorry. Sorry for the thought of ever being left. Sorry for being vulnerable. Sick at the thought of death. Little did I know she was eating her lover, had bitten off his head to feel his strongest thrust surge within her. How often I deceive myself. Take a pallet, a cottontail rabbit, a blue stone, reversible cape, snakeskin boots and a top hat, a purple G-string with tasseled bosom bonnets and rainbow sequins and a black orchid and a necklace of imitation emerald and wish on a shooting star, fondle a silk scarf, eat fire and snow in the moonlight, jabber, jabber, abracadabra with the painted desert in one hand and that wand of yours in the other, make your house call to the good times. Drunk and dancing, slinging my long hair around the room like I own the place, that old print house dress of mine unbuttoned all the way to the waist. L.A. woman with a handful of gimme and a mouthful of much oblige, tight pants, bangles, and fur coats, and false eyelashes, and portfolios, and fancy hats, and all on a rampage. God, look at me now, though. Now that I'm in the movies, I am so happy. The telephone just rings and rings and rings. I've got a new red Mercedes. Seats are real leather. 57 pink and black Cadillac. We go on location, European vacations, and God, I even had a pedicure. You dumped the gowns out of my drawer and call me a hoe because I won't give my shoes to the Salvation Army. $1,000 worth of shoes is a lie. You claim to have 3 pairs. I count 6 right here. Why suddenly are they an issue, especially coming from you, who spent days in Melody Land watching Mexican girls walk by, all of them holding hands wearing platforms. Built a pedestal in a museum for my green ones, painting them emerald on a pile of blazing tires. Who made me known for them, allowing me to become the whore who strolled down the avenue of the 16th day of September. For you who wrote, she is green shoes, and always she provokes, I'm gonna buy some new ones. walking back to you. We circled Harvard and Yale and Vassar and Fresno State and even the University of Texas. And one circle circled another, and banners were waving, and everything was wonderful when I spotted this thing up above. It was tiny and red and winged, attaching itself right here to my cheek. The very thing I dreaded most. I woke and saw 4 rocks, not the 4 I draw in letters signifying our family, or the ones engraved on your watch, a constant reminder of our love, or the ones I carry in my purse, close, separate, but the infernal bedrock of last night's excavation. 4 rocks in bed, with a heart at the foot of it, soft, smoldering red flannel blanket, strewn hairpins of fate, pillow in the mountains, grave under cover, heartache and bloodshed, an old story never forgotten. This is the way to start a new day, rise and shine and stroll across the dawn of suburbia, naked in the driveway where you've left me temporary, holding a $100 check and a rock and roll legacy. Mornings I like it, afternoons survive it, but when the night time comes, I need him. So I'm gonna drive home to my man, put on my silver satin wraparound, and I'm gonna love, love, love him till he's dancing in the palm of my hand. 'Cause I got a blonde wig and a red one too. Honey, there ain't no limit to what I can do. 'Cause I'm not the kind of woman who could ever be a loner. No, no, no. It's not my style. I need my man beside me. Warm hands on me nightly. Go on and say I'm dependently crazed. Darling, I guess it's just the way I was raised. Here's 2 bluebirds, soft, fat. One for the front, one for the back. Off to see the world, flying anywhere they like. But always coming home to that perfect feeling of love, with their eyes shining bright like 4 stars in the night. We'll giggle and smile, do our tricky twirls. Your good loving makes me queen of the world. Above the night screams the oleander's poisonous fumes, Mrs. Sanctimonious teas rocking toward an ocean in a DC-10. Above the rock scene, rocks in the sand arranged, rocks in the bed named. Jack Daniels on the rocks, please. Dear God, don't let us crash. Keep the kids safe till we get back. If you do that, I promise to change my life. Give me, you know I always say that when I get on the plane. Cheers. Here's to you. We're over the great water, that spot that can't be traced by radar. LA's behind, I take your hand. Remember the same, the beautiful, beautiful Seine River. What'd you say your birthday was? Oh! Oh no! Oh yeah! Your birthday is an 8. I mean 8, 7s and 8s for 85 and 86, you know. Yeah, right? Because, 86 is sort of, well, it's sort of inward, but, it's also outward, you know. And outward, well, next year, boy, listen, that's important. Next year's a 9. Then, well, if it applies, it's just an unlimited situation. Yeah, but after that, and it's all over. That smell of sawdust puts me on the hood of a 51 Bel Air Chevy we were all so proud of. Sitting on a towel to keep my legs from burning. It must have been over 100 listening to the screams of the saws. Everything was covered with tiny wooden curls. My daddy's hands constantly easing toward a blade, 12 hours a day or more. He'd taken a strip of siding off the garage so he could push through the longest boards, and my mama would make him put it back on every night, no matter how late it was when he'd get done. He used to sit on this towel, on this old Chevy, day after day, hour after hour, waiting for him. I'll never forget this one time. Nobody believed me, but it's true. A herd of lizards ran by. I swear to God. I swear to God, there were at least 35. Thank you.